Hello and welcome to Megawatt TV, where each week we'll give you the lowdown on the latest piece of kit from the world of technology and gadgets. Coming up this week, we've got quick reviews, we've got some features, we've got some opinions, we've got some tips, we've got some tricks, there's loads. And our main review, which is the Mega City, an electric car from the Nice Car Company. And here it is. Just as Michael Jackson said he wasn't like ordinary boys in the Thriller video, the Nice Mega City isn't like an ordinary car you've probably seen before. A quick way to show you that is if we open the bonnet, you'll notice that there's a distinct lack of engine. And the only real way of getting any involvement in this car is through the washer inlet here. Close the bonnet down, you see there's quite a bit of flex, and that's because it's made of ABS, the same plastic they use to make Lego. If we come round the side of the car, as you can see, it's quite dinky, which is you know, nice. It's better than the G-Wiz for certain, and it certainly looks like a car you might want to be seen in. Stickers on the side, which I'm sure probably won't be on the model you buy, or at least I hope not, suggest that there's no petrol involved, as we've seen from the engine, no CO2, no road tax, no congestion charge, which makes it a really appealing offering for anybody that's going into the City of London. This is the charger. Basically plug it in there. The other end is a 3-pin plug, yes, like as if you had it on your kettle lead, and that's pretty much what it does. In the back, we've got a boot. Now, we were really impressed with this boot. Open it up. Look at the amount of space in there. All our camera kit's in there, and it would certainly cope quite amply with a weekly shop down at the local supermarket. Close that up. Right, now let's have a look inside. As you can see from the inside, it's a fairly regular car. We've got a key, which I'll put in there while I'm talking about all this. We've got a heater, which supposedly doesn't drain much of the power, radio. It's all a bit flaky. You can see there's a bit of flex in there, just a bit like the outside, but I think that's probably a weight ratio thing. The speedo goes up to 80 kilometers or 50 miles an hour if you're in England. There's a battery, well, fuel gauge, battery gauge. Other things to note are that it's an automatic, so you've got to drive and you've got to reverse, and that's about it. So we're going to burn some rubber. And one thing we forgot to mention is that all the time we've been talking, the engine's been running. So let's go. This is the new BlackBerry 8300 from Research in Motion, or Curve, as they like to call in the office. Sitting between the 8800 and the Pearl, the idea is this gives you the functionality of a QWERTY keyboard within a smaller form factor, and it makes it ideal for fitting in your pocket. Who would have thought, hey? Basically, you get the same as you've always got from RIM, which is a great interface, which you can see here, email on the go, QWERTY keyboard, but with the addition of a 2-megapixel camera over the 1.3 megapixel camera from the Pearl, and the same Pearl nubbin, which we found really easy to use rather than a rocker switch, which most older BlackBerries will have. Other than that, there doesn't seem to be any 3G or Wi-Fi capabilities, which you'd normally find on a new smartphone, but we have to say that the interface is the killer application here, and being able to get your email on the go wherever you are so simply and easily is the key factor, and that's the bit that we like the most. It is no push of the boundaries, we admit, but it does give you more functionality than the Pearl, i.e. it's got the QWERTY keyboard, but smaller size than the 8800. Overall, we just can't get enough of it. We really do like it, and that's us getting excited. This is the BlackBerry Curve from Research in Motion. Now, they were just about to do something which I've been wanting to do for ages, having driven in London for quite some time. And I always have to scoot around the congestion charge because I'm a stingy bugger and don't want to pay the £8 to drive through it. I'm about to go past that all-important central zone congestion charge sign with the 4 cameras. I think it's, I count 4 cameras across the street from me. The C's on the floor, and we're going to go through it. It's going to be brilliant. Here we go. We're going to go for it. I've officially now saved myself £8 by driving in this car. If I was in a regular petrol car, I'd be well, a couple of pints shorter, I suppose. Down the parkway, I wouldn't have that extra money. Of course, don't drink and drive. It's not good for you. You might spill it. In terms of performance, the car seems to be proving quite agile at the moment. There's a good sense of nippiness about it, which I suppose is what you really need in town. It's only when you put your foot down and it sort of doesn't really pick up anywhere other than what you're probably used to as a regular car, a petrol car, that you sort of realise that that's as good as it's going to get.
Now that's an interesting thing. While explaining that, what I've found is that the brake is very close to the accelerator, and so if you're not careful and you've got wide shoes or a big-shoed man like myself, you can press the brake and the accelerator at the same time. Now, because the brake is a bit ropey anyway, suddenly when I thought I was braking, I was going forward, which could give you some issues. Now, one of the things that I have noticed is that when I take my foot off the accelerator, it does start slowing down automatically. It does that because basically every time it brakes, it uses a system that allows it to recharge the batteries. What that means is if you drive a lot like that, so you don't floor it all the time and you're not trying to get from A to B as fast as you can, then you can actually extend the range, which Megacity claims would be around about 40 miles in total. The Megacity has two settings. It has a high setting and a low setting. Now, the high setting allows you to have full access to the battery to give you that, oomph to get all the way to 30 miles an hour. And then there's a low setting which restricts the speed even more. And the idea of that is it should give you better range. So this is low setting, and then high setting, we're going to whoosh, a real jolt there. That's, it's brilliant. It's great. It makes us feel like we're going somewhere.
So here's a neat little tip for you if you've got an Apple Mac. Did you realise that instead of trying to squint and see what's going on with the screen, you can actually use a keyboard and a mouse to do the same trick for you? All you have to do is hold the control key down and using your scroll wheel actually zoom in to the screen. Now this is brilliant for looking at photos up close, or if you can't be bothered to find your glasses, actually looking at text. And so doing so allows you can scroll in and out as much as you like, and to be honest, it's as easy as that.